Let's talk the National League playoffs, shall we? Grimsby fans, let's talk the National League playoffs. As we know, this morning, the rearranged or the newly arranged playoff dates have been confirmed. I'll just take you through the fixture that's going to affect us, or the fixtures that could affect us. Obviously, there's one more game to go. We're going to finish in either 5th or 6th. And so the fixture that is going to affect Grimsby Town the most has been changed from Wednesday the 25th to Monday the 23rd of May at 7:45. So they've pulled it back a couple of days. Now, I've seen a lot of uproar about this in the last few hours, saying that the National League aren't thinking of supporters, they're not thinking of fans. I agree, because it's a weird day. You've also kept the fixture on a Wednesday for so long, where people have made arrangements to be there for the Notts County away day on the Wednesday. They've had to take time off work to get to it. And now the National League change it only by 48 hours, but they change it, which now means you may have some fans now that aren't able to go. Whether they've done that through TV, whether they've done that through other circumstances, or whether they've just done it through, tell you what, the fans don't matter, so who cares? My opinion on the changes, it's not fair for people that have already made arrangements. Can anybody really trust the National League to deliver it fairly? This should have already been arranged at the start of the season. We shouldn't be going, 13 days or not even that in the playoffs. We should have known exactly the dates we were playing and exactly the playoff final. I think this is very, very amateurish, or as I would gladly say, Grimsby fans, welcome to non-league. We know what the National League is like. We've been here before. They're so indecisive, it's ridiculous. The ones I do feel sorry for mainly are the fans that's already made arrangements to go on the Wednesday evening. And that is, me and my friend still can't make it. Even though it is the rearranged date, we still can't make it for circumstances. But if you can, that is the new arranged date, which is Monday the 23rd. It is a 7:45 kickoff. But the amount of anger and frustration at the National League I've read in just a few hours that the dates have come out is unbelievable. They're not thinking of fans, and no, they're thinking of business. I personally don't see how they worked a playoff final into a Jubilee weekend. I did see that the National League had said, they put a statement out saying nothing was confirmed. You knew it was a Jubilee year. The National League knew it was a Jubilee year. Now, I'm going to take our club out of it slightly. Let's say we weren't in this. I still think it's bad management by the National League, to be honest, for any club. The bit I don't agree with, and I'm going to get probably a bit of disagreement by Grimsby fans here, I don't care that the actual final is at the London Stadium. I don't care in that regard. Where I think what we're saying is, if it was at Wembley, would you really care? Not really. I will admit that the London Stadium is a little bit more tricky to get to than Wembley. But for some reason, the playoff final last year was in Bristol. And the only team it seemed to favour for that was Torquay. You know, what are you Grimsby Town fans' opinion on this? And anyone that sees other teams in there. But what, strictly for the Grimsby fans, what is your take on now the new playoff date? I will do a full playoff preview coming up soon, so Grimsby fans look out for that. We'll have some news as well over the summer when news breaks from the club about signings and so on. But this is strictly for us. You know, how unhappy are you with the fixture change or the fixture date change? How has it affected now your ability to go to the game? Has it affected your ability to go to the game? Are you now going to be able to get time off work? Are you going to be able to now adjust the arrangements that you already had? I'm not going to go hell for leather as such at the National League, but it is not convenient for us as supporters or any other club for that matter. The only people it doesn't really affect, this doesn't affect Notts County because they're at home, so it doesn't really affect them. You know, and that's what I'd say to Grimsby fans. Let's spin it the other way. Let's say we get the goal difference swing. Are you then really bothered? If we were to finish 5th, and mathematically we still can, would it bother you the date change then? Or does it bother you as well more because we're having to travel? So are they thinking of fans? They're not thinking of away fans as much as they are home fans. Home fans, it won't really affect. So if Halifax, in the other one, if Halifax were to play Chesterfield or Dagenham, it's not going to affect Halifax. The date change won't affect Halifax. Or it won't affect Solihull. It'll only affect Chesterfield or Dagenham. No, the date change is not convenient for us as a fan base at Grimsby. But you could then also spin it and go, if we did get the goal difference switcheroo, are we then bothered that it's not convenient for Notts County either? The National League seem a bit of a mess, but we should have expected this. You know, it's called non-league for a reason, guys, unfortunately. And I feel sorry for all Grimsby fans that have already booked tickets to go to Meadow Lane on the original date that was set, to then all of a sudden 10 days before we play, before we're scheduled to play it, because obviously we play Sunday at Eastleigh and then we have a 10-day break. Well, we don't have a 10-day break now, we have an 8-day break before we go to Meadow Lane. I want to get your guys' thoughts on all this. How has it affected you now the date has changed? Because right now we've only got to worry about the Eliminator, more so with Notts County. And realistically, we probably will have to go there. So how has it affected the way, your ability to go to the game now? I did hear some people say, have they done this because of TV? Have they done this? It won't affect BT because there's no Champions League football on. I can't see it being totally a TV issue. I think it's just the National League not being prepared. And when you're not organised, all this happens. But I'm not defending the National League here, but I'm going to spin it the other way. Would we be bothered if we were playing at home? What day it was? That's the only thing I would say. Us fans that are travelling, it's inconveniencing the supporters. It's not hurting the home supporters. Maybe the fact that they might leave work early, but if it's at your home ground, apart from the exiles, they do, that may not be convenient for them, but the only thing I say to the exiles, if you can't make something, it's on TV. I know it's not convenient, but I did see an interview fairly recently done by a good young YouTuber, a young Halifax YouTuber, very, very good interview actually. He did with Alan McLean. And what I think we have to... The only thing I would have to give credit to the National League for is the coverage is a lot better than what we ever got in the Football League. But the governing body needs a complete overhaul. Because for Chesterfield, for any of the playoff teams, this hasn't gone well because we're having to change arrangements very quick. All of them, even the teams that could finish 7th, only Chesterfield, if they finish 7th, they have to change the original plan. The National League need looking at, and they are to blame for this. Have they thought about fans? Not conveniently, but I want to know from our set of fans, how have they not considered us? I don't think it's more not considered us. I think it's more the fact that they've been so disorganised from the start. You don't change your date 10 days before. If it was done with a managers meeting, which again, I'm not sure, and they said, yeah, we'll take those dates, then that wasn't the league's fault. They offered, and teams have said, yeah. But how can you when you don't know who's in that 7th spot yet? But Grimsby fans, I want to honestly know your take on this. How has this affected your ability to possibly go to Meadow Lane? I say possibly because we could still sneak 5th. And will you now be going to Meadow Lane on the Monday rather than the Wednesday? Will you be going to Meadow Lane? That is the question now. Has this made it where you're not going to be able to make it, either due to work commitments or any other kind of commitment? Do let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to get fans' feedback on this and what they think about this new playoff date. The managers, especially the ones that have booked tickets for the previous date. I'm quite intrigued. So this video is strictly just for you. Just let me know those things. Like the video if you like the video. Subscribe. Comment down below. And I really do want to know, how has this affected your ability to get to the game? Unfortunately, because of this, I can't get to the game. And my friend can't get to the game either. He can't get to there due to work commitments and so on. And obviously that's scuppered me going to the away game as well. The only saviour, if you cannot make it, you don't have to miss it. But I also know all us fans would rather be there than not. but at least it'll be on TV. That's the only saving grace. But the National League need to get their head out their arse, to be completely honest. This isn't good enough for any away fans travel. It's not about fans, because it doesn't really affect the home fans. It might do slightly, but if it's a home game, it's not really good. The only people it really does affect would be the exiles, if it was here on the Monday. But in general, anyone that's already agreed to travel, that's who it affects. And I think the National League need to become more professional, because they're not. But this is why it's called non-league, in my opinion. Because it's not a professional body. Because you would have already had dates confirmed. You don't alter those dates, especially not this late. I don't think the club will challenge that, because I don't see how they can. And one other thing, fans, about the playoff final. I know, and I've already mentioned it a little bit in the video before, I know that the London Stadium is not convenient. Why is that for us Grimsby fans, even though we're not there yet? We've got to appreciate that. Why is that inconvenient? Why is 20 miles the other side of London inconvenient, but Wembley would be convenient? But by putting in another stadium and not in Wembley Stadium, aren't we defeating the sort of object of it should be at Wembley? Let's be honest. But where would you, if you had a choice, and this is a slightly wider question, if you had a choice, where would you put it? Where would you put the playoff final? I'd put it at somewhere like Leicester, or Nottingham Forest, or Aston Villa, or Birmingham. But if you do that, because it's more convenient, you're then saying, well, okay, if you don't want to put it in Wembley, why leave it in London? The problem I've got with this is it's the date they put it in. And they knew when the Jubilee dates were. So they would have known that the first week in June would not be a convenient time to do it. So I want you Grimsby Town fans' opinion on that as well. And any Grimsby Town fan around the world, you see this video, let me know down below what you think. And I will see you guys very, very soon. Like, subscribe, hit the bell. That'll let you know when I upload some new content. And I'll see you guys very soon. See you soon, guys. Let me know your opinions.